Peace be upon you, creative minds. Welcome back to another video in my channel. My name is Nasara. For those who are new, I am an interior designer and a custom organization solution designer. In today's video, as you can see, and also from the title, I am going to take you through my living room. You might have seen this already in the previous videos, but today I thought I can take you around in the living room and tell you where everything or every piece of furniture and decor is from, and hopeful that this is going to be maybe inspire you to maybe pick something from this room and apply it to your living space. All right, so without further ado, let's get started. All right, creative friends, so the first area I want to start with is actually the sofa. As you can see, the biggest piece, of course, in the living space. I have two sofas. They are both from Z Gallery. I originally wanted only one sofa and then two accent chairs, just so I can keep the flow open. But of course, you know, with family and especially if you have a lot of them, then having more seating is always key. So my husband just ended up buying a second one, and here we are. We have two opposite from each other. So it's an amazing thing to do when you're having conversation. You can see each other opposite of each other. So the sofa is in this kind of like royal blue. It is velvet, and we have purchased this from Z Gallery. I might have mentioned that. I fell in love with it when I saw it in the store because of the lines in the back. It's just so beautiful. It kind of draws your eye up whenever you are looking at it. And then also the fact that it's kind of like a boxy look almost. Having the arms being so high like this just gives it that elevated look that I love so much. One thing that my husband is not too happy about, to be honest, is that it kind of makes noises sometimes when you sit on it, and he thinks we could have bought something that is a little bit better built, but maybe in the future. I would love to still keep the blue as an accent in my house because I love blue. Okay, so the other thing I love actually about this sofa is the fact that it's only one cushion. I mean, what a plus. If you can do that, by any means do it, because one thing for me is when you have those like sections in a sofa, it feels like you can kind of like fall into those creases. You have so many crumbs go into it and stuff like that. But when it's only one cushion, it adds to the comfort. You know, you're still like seated and you know, you're so comfortable. Anyway, so moving on, you know, with this being high arm, I think having a bigger like throw pillows and stuff like that kind of makes it a little bit more comfortable, and also it gives you the chance to kind of play with the pillows. I love pillows. I love making pillow covers, and I tend to change them from season to season and sometimes through the holidays, so I can throw in new colors and stuff like that and change the decor around as well. So in this I have two on either side, different colors. This is one of the pillows that I have made myself, as well as this one. It's just the covers of them, and this one is from West Elm. I still love it. I love the blue that kind of goes with the whole house, and especially that it's also velvet. And the other one is actually from Home Goods. It's big and substantial, and I love it. So yeah, we have two of these. The legs on the sofa are kind of like that chrome that ties in with the kitchen handles and also the faucet, which kind of is not always my thing, but I felt like I can do that and tie in the kitchen with the living room and bring in actually some other finishes like brass and black and stuff like that, and they do work together super well. So on the other side of the sofa, or one side of the sofa, is a floor lamp that I got from West Elm some years ago. Actually, I do love it so much. I love the brass. Also, again, it kind of ties in with other pieces and other brass accent pieces that I have in the house and the living room in general. And one thing I am not so sure about that I really like about that floor lamp is the fact that one leg is always kind of like wonky, so it's not always standing straight. Other than that, it's a beautiful piece. It is big enough to kind of like have that scale that we play with in the living room, and especially that it's an open space, so it's not too small and it's not too big for it, and it functions super well. So yeah. So as you can see here, this is the fireplace. The house, as we bought it, they had lots of gray accents, gray countertops, and then so the fireplace around over there is in the gray stone, which is not something I would have done myself, honestly, but because it's already in the house, I wanted to kind of tie it in and bring some pieces that would go with it, and also bring in my style and my colors into the house. So what I did with this is I made sure that I get some other accents that are in the gray color. So you have seen it in some of the pillows, and then also in my chairs for the dining space, just to bring that open space all together. How I style the mantle is kind of like it changes again with seasons, with colors, with my mood sometimes too. So every now and then I will like add or remove something. I usually like to have less things on my mantle, but for some odd reason, this looks like it is perfectly fine. It's working so well. That big piece, I have had another art piece before actually, and I might insert that in the video so you can see it. But this one here is from my in-laws. It's sitting right now until I get another piece that I'm in love with. Other than that, I just wanted to layer them. Brought in that kind of like aged brass color in there with some Arabic calligraphy and stuff like that, just to bring in that also culture that I am from into the space, knowing that I love Moroccan style, Mediterranean style as well, and I want to incorporate that in my house and in my future designs as well. So on the side you can see that's like faux plant. Honestly, I love real plants and real flowers, but sometimes it's very hard to kind of like maintain and always have the chance to buy and get fresh flowers and stuff like that. So this color was so perfect, and it used to reside in my in-laws' home, and right now it's sitting here until they move into their new space, and then they can probably take it with them. On the other side, it's just, you know, some candlesticks and some art, and a candle that is just sitting there because I just love this amount, and also the color kind of brings that black in the space, and it just looks really nice. So yeah. So the next thing I want to talk about is my beautiful, beautiful coffee table. This is the Moroccan coffee table. It is from Anthropology Home. I love it so much. My husband loves it so much too. Funny story is that when we went to the store to check it out, it looked a lot lighter than this. And then when it came home, it looked like a little bit of an off-white, and we were not so sure about that. But it grew on us. We just kept loving it, and since then we couldn't even think about changing it. The only reason maybe we could change it is just so we can get a bigger size of this. This is a 36-inch round coffee table, and given that we have a bigger space right now, I think a 45 would be amazing. A funny story is that we actually bought it thinking that we're gonna live in an apartment that we were trying to get, and initially it was just going to be one sofa with accent chairs and then this round table so we can keep the flow in that small space when you are in an apartment, but we ended up actually buying this house instead, and next thing we know we have this beautiful piece that looks amazing here but could do in a bigger round table. So we might sell this but get a same one in a bigger size, just so we can keep that Moroccan Mediterranean feel that I am so in love with. All right, and as how I style it sometimes changes as well. Again, every season, whatever you have, colors as well. So it's insane. But usually what I do get in on my coffee table is some fresh flowers most of the time. And so this one is kind of like a little bit old, but I kept it. I love the white. That was actually my sister-in-law got me this white and orange flowers that kind of go with my the color of this like burnt orange. And the orange ones unfortunately died, but I would kind of like wanted to revive these, so I put them here with this eucalyptus. So usually I do have a vase. Given that it is a round table, it's sometimes a little bit hard to style it, but honestly, so just think of it as how I like to do it is either center everything in one area, so you have a higher one, a higher piece, let's say, and then fewer in different heights. This is honestly a little bit too high, especially if you have people and you want to have a conversation. You have to move it around if you really want to talk. But since it's just me and my husband right now, and I love to look at something nice in the morning when I want to have my my tea. Other than that, we just have a smaller vase with the flowers. It looks beautiful, and it also allows you to have the conversations when guests are over. So as I said, I try to center it because it is a round table, but I tried also to have multiple pieces so I can give it more interest, but without actually overtaking the coffee table, because I still feel like this is the piece that needs to be looked at the most and not what is in there. Again, going with that Moroccan feel and Moroccan style, I have this piece from CB2. It has some of the dates here, something sweet to grab. This is like a set of vintage saucers or plates or cookie plates that I got recently. I love the look of them. They're so pretty and so light. They are actually vintage Japanese saucers, so I think I was lucky to grab that. Just put it here. Honestly, it could be also like coasters. You can do a lot with it, but mainly it's going to be for my high tea when I get to do that again, and that allows me to have the guests to have cakes on them and stuff like that. Next is just a candle, just to have, you know, nice smell in the house. This is from Anthropology Home as well, and then this is some matches from Crate & Barrel, just to light up the candles whenever you need that. So yeah, and then if you have seen probably in the video also, the base is round as well, and it's in the brass color. It's just so gorgeous, and this table is going nowhere because it is very, very heavy, and it's worth it. So yeah, I love this table so much. It's an awkward angle, but I really wanted to do this so you can see the light fixture on the ceiling. You can see also the brass detail, and then also the little tiny bulbs that are like spheres. I got this from Amazon, and honestly it was supposed to be in the dining room over the dining table, but we have 4 can lights, and I really wanted it to be centered, so we had to kind of like see where we can put it, and I changed the fan. I will see if I can insert a picture, an old picture, where you will see like it was a fan, and I'm not really a big fan of those. They are just kind of like ugly and not really designer. So I decided to change that with this. It just gave it like that beautiful look. You can also see it when you come through the house. Beautiful. It's not a fan, it's different. Just add your touch. You can have any kind of structural lighting if you want, as long as it fits your style. It's the way to go. Moving on to this side of the living room. I am sorry if the light has changed. I am recording this video while the sun is finally turning on this side of the house, but I just love how it kind of flows into the room, so no complaints there, so bear with me. Anyway, on this side of the room I have this gigantic octopus plant, I think that's called, and when my husband and I bought it, it was a little bit smaller for sure, and now it keeps growing, and I think it's just so happy in this area here. It's overtaking the living room, so we'll probably have to kind of like cut it a little bit. I have no idea how to do that honestly, but we will make it work. I just love how amazing it is. It brings that greenery, and then for some reason also the green against the blue just adds that life to the blue, and it doesn't make it as dark as it would be like naturally, right? Every time there is a new little leaf coming out, I'm just so happy to see, and I kind of celebrate it, and I, you know, talk to everyone about how I got a new one. So yeah, excited about that. And then again, if we look over here, you see this drapery. We have talked about the drapery before, I believe, in my dining room video. If I did not, then these are from IKEA, believe it or not. They are like the linen cotton blend. I love it. It has kind of like a chevron pattern to it that you can't really see unless you are looking at it like super duper close, but I love it. We originally had some rings on it over there, but I just didn't really feel like that's the look I was looking for, because I didn't want the farm kind of style. I want it to be more elevated, so the pleating makes it have that look that I was looking for. The rods are black. They are actually from Amazon, but the ones that are over here are from Crate & Barrel. But unfortunately, they were discontinued by the time we wanted to do the whole house and have the rods in there. So, but they are the same style, they function the same way, and you can't really tell the difference, but we do love them. So as you can see, we have the black here, which ties in with the black fridge and some of the appliances we have. We have the brass that ties in also with the few accents that I have added to the house, as in like, this is my style, this is the finish that I want. And then you have the silver, that is what was originally in the house, and I just maintained that. So mixing and matching sometimes is not actually a bad idea, as long as you're not doing it too close to each other that they compete. Otherwise they will be functioning just fine. So yeah, I love that. I love the big windows over here. They bring in so much light, and this room is almost always bright. Sometimes from the light coming on these little windows, and then in the afternoon it's all on this side of the house, and it's just so beautiful. So this rug is actually from Northwest Rugs, and I don't really have a lot of information about this. We bought it about 5 years ago when we lived with my in-laws for a little bit, and I loved it. It has that gray, has some patterns that are beautiful. I think it is wool with some viscose. That's why it kind of like changes the colors and the sheens, whichever way you are looking at it. But we love it, and it kind of works super well with our space right now, and I had to bring it. So I bought a new rug for them, and I took this home with me because I loved it. Moving on to the other side of the living room, and then behind this sofa over here is this little corner that kind of separates the living space or the living room from the dining, is this little corner. And I thought, what is a better way to kind of style it and also add something to it without looking so out of place, right? So I bought this stand actually from CB2. Again, that gray brings in the gray from the dining space into the living room and make that transition soft and smooth. How I style it changes every now and then again. So this time it's just like a beautiful orchid that my mother-in-law got me some time ago, sitting over here, and then on top of it I just had this like astrology thing that talks about our anniversary. So it was a gift from me to my husband on our 5th anniversary. It's like where we were, where were our stars on that day. So I thought it was like a fun little thing to add. But one thing I know, and I have been toying with the idea lately, is that I might have to remove this and put it in the dining space. Honestly, remove that as well. And then I think I'm going to make a few changes where I will put the floor lamp over here, and then I might add some shelving on either side of the fireplace so I can have more storage, and also so I can have an area where I can play with the decor and just style it every now and then and make it a little bit more designer. So it is not 100% final, but that's just the ideas I have for now. But yes, so this is it. So that concludes our tour of the living room. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. Please let me know what was your favorite part in the comments below. What's your favorite piece of maybe furniture or decor, and maybe why, and also tell me if blue is one of your favorite colors. So thank you so much again for tuning in and watching my videos, and I will leave you in style now. So